Edward, after completing his Discover, joined us for an Explore photography course, where he learned to take Polaroids and created an album. Later, he worked with artist Dan Simpson and visited the Turner Gallery in Margate to find out about arts organisation. He explored his creativity and expressing himself. These are some of his ideas. For Part C, Edward worked with a team of young people to create some artwork and create an exhibition in the local library called Seaside Memories. This was a group and activity. Edward contributing to deciding which photos and artwork went where, and made his own decisions as well as creative ones with the team. Part D, Edward shared his Arts Awards books with his Arts Award advisors, showing them what he had learned. Annabel Ludlow started on a summer photography course and learned to do Polaroids for Part A and create a photo album. She reviewed her photos and wrote up her ideas. For Part B, Annabel visited the Turner Contemporary in Margate and explored the Turner as an arts organisation and the work of Anthony Gormley, which was on at the time. It was all connected with the seaside. For Annabel's Part C, she worked with Sheerness Library and the young people to curate and create an exhibition of their artwork and photos, including artwork from other young people that they put together. They created a display for the whole community to see. For Part D, Annabel chose to share her Arts Award books with Sarah, one of our youth workers. Katie Phillips joined us for an Arts Award Explore photography course and learned to take pictures with a Polaroid, visiting the beaches around Sheerness and Sheppey. She worked in a team and she also did photography with a camera. The young people shared their photographs together and thought about what they were going to do with them with youth worker Sarah. Katie enjoyed herself and being challenged. Part B of the Explore saw us visiting the Turner Contemporary in Margate, where Katie explored the Turner as an arts organisation and the work of Anthony Gormley, who was on display as an artist. Later, we all sat down on the beach for fish and chips to share and review our stories and learning from that day. Part C saw Katie working with her group to share her photographs, make some new artwork and create a display in the public library for the community to be involved with called Seaside Memories, which explored their ideas and their trips from the Turner Contemporary to Sheerness on Sea. Part D saw Katie sharing her arts awards and her achievements with her photography with one of our youth workers. This is Armel St. Pierre's Explore book. Armel did Polaroids with us as Part A, and she was given a Polaroid and took part in workshops where she created images. They then had a workshop with Kate Hennessy, photographer, where they went along Sheerness taking photographs. And afterwards we reviewed our photographs on our mobile phones and in a local cafe where Kate did a critical review of their work. We then met Dan Simpson, a poet and meme creator, for their inspiring artists and inspiring arts organisations. For their arts organisations, they met Pedro from Ideas Test, a Creative People and Places Arts Council project. For Part C, being creative, Armel joined a workshop at Raybell Charters and the Dolphin Barge Museum to make bricks for an exhibition out of paper mache using local newspapers. Part D saw Armel sharing her Arts Award Explore book with our youth worker, particularly Part A. She was proud of her photographs. Amber Brand, for Part A, took part in an extensive photography workshop building on her Explore. She worked with photographer Kate Hennessy and then spent some time talking to Kate online for experience. They wrote their finds up in their Arts Award book. Amber was doing photography at school, so to be able to work with Kate was really useful. Part B saw us all attend Rochester Castle and a day trip out to Rochester, where everyone practiced their photography skills and learned about heritage. Amber was interested in a mural that she thought was by artist Julie Bradshaw. We were able to introduce her to artist Julie Bradshaw, and they chatted about Julie's artwork. Amber was able to use this for both her arts award and for her photography course at school. For Amber's Part D, she helped out at a Sheppey Matters public event doing arts activities. This is a witness statement from her teacher who attended the event. Katie wanted to progress her photography after completing the Arts Award Explore. She decided to use Polaroid cameras and AR technology to embed photos within photos of Polaroids and explore her family history through the use of Polaroids and a Polaroid lab printer. She greatly enjoyed this process of the work and was very creative. She shared those images with her family and friends and online. For Part B, Katie went with her brother and her mother to the Criterion Blue Town Heritage Centre in Sheerness, where she explored naval history, migration, objects, and the history of the building. Part C saw Katie explore the work of Daniel Amaro, a conceptual art and animation artist on Instagram, who uses digital imagery to create startling pictures that Katie really responded to. Part D saw Katie perform in a brick-making video using paper mache to show other young people how to do it. She was involved in the creative choices for the video and took part in showing the steps needed to produce a paper mache brick. This was filmed and posted online. Annabelle Ludlow decided to build on her explore and learn photography with Kate Hennessy, a professional photographer. For Part B, we were the audience at Rochester Castle and Cathedral. For her Part C, Annabelle wrote about photographer Kate Hennessy and talked to her online. Annabelle's Part D was a Skillshare at a public event held by Sheppey Matters. This is a witness statement from her teacher who attended the event. For Demi Lee's Arts Award, she took part in a project called Tide, where they worked with Laurie Harpham, an artist, to create artworks based on self-expression and what it means to be a young person living in today's world. For Part B, she went to Rochester Castle to take some photographs. Demi also visited an exhibition of African American artwork from the 1950s, looking at slavery among African Americans in the Deep South. Demi got to meet artist and sculptor Claire Witt and wrote about her life and experiences. Claire took them on a workshop and showed her her book of what she had achieved and the publications she had been featured in. For Part D, Demi decided to show her sister how to create a suitcase that could be used in the Swell Migration exhibition that looked at family memories and history. She started with a blank suitcase and decorated it, and then worked for a younger sister, Peyton, to show her how to do hers. We shared both of these online on social media to show our viewers what they had achieved. Peyton really enjoyed working with her sister, as she was too young to take part in the Tide project, and this way she got to participate and be part of our Swell Migration exhibition.